Welcome to the SolidCAM University channel. This video's topic is changing MAC positions. So when you're programming a part with multiple sides, you will need a MAC position for each of those sides. The Z-axis acts as your tool axis. We've mentioned this before in previous training sessions. In this video, we'll talk about how to go from one MAC position to another and how to get your post and your software to understand that change. So taking a look at my part here, we have three sides. Side 1, Side 2, Side 3, and I have operations on each of those sides. In one part file, I'm doing all three sides. But what we'll need to do here is we'll need to tell SolidCAM when we change from one to the other. The reason is, while you're working under one MAC, that is the reference point. X, Y, and Z directions are according to that MAC position. So if I were to try and simulate all these, they would look correct inside the software. But as soon as I post the code, these coordinate systems are different in different directions completely. So the directions that this toolpath is taking would not be dictated by the X and Y and the Z of MAC 1 position 1. They should be dictated by MAC 2. So we need to tell the software when we're switching from one to the other. And to do that, all we really need to do is just right-click, machine setup, and in this case, since I right-clicked on my first MAC 2 operation, I'll put it at before, and then just adds a coordinate, machine setup. This is actually added for you at the very top of your operations list for your MAC 1. So it's automatically added, and it automatically defaults to your MAC 1. But you'll see with each of these, you can actually select your coordinate system. So in this case, my MAC 2, I should be under MAC 2. So every operation under this particular setup should be for MAC 2. And you'll know you need a machine setup for each MAC because the MAC actually will be colored purple or whatever it is on your machine, whatever your settings are set for. Mine is this purple color here. It's letting me know that I actually need to include a machine setup right before that toolpath. So I'll just click OK. And now you can see that that MAC is no longer purple. It's a black color, indicating to me that all the operations there are now correct, except for these MAC 3 ones. So now I need to add a machine setup for MAC 3. And again, I'll just do that here. I'll just say for MAC 3, and under table position, I'll say it's under MAC 3. Now this will post correctly. This is the correct way to go from one MAC to another inside SolidCAM. You just literally just have to tell it that you are doing that. The other benefit of actually setting up different MACs under different machine setups is each machine setup has the ability to assign a fixture. And when you do this sort of multi-sided work, you're most likely going to have different fixturing for each side. For instance, if we take a look at my display state for side 1, I have a fixture for my side 1 operations. Side 2, I have a setup for my side 2, and I have a setup for my side 3. So basically, using my display states, I've hidden and shown all the different fixtures. But inside the software, I would like to tell it when to use those fixtures and with which coordinate system. So we can do that inside of the MACs. So I'll go to MAC. It defaults it to none, but I'm just going to go and select the fixtures that I've created before, and I'll just click OK. Under this machine setup using MAC 1, all of these operations will be concerned with this fixturing. The reason these other toolpaths have been affected is because they are stock recognition or they have fixture collision turned on. But obviously, they're under machine setups. What I can do with those is give them their own fixturing, and then they can do collision detection against those fixtures. And the way to pre-select your fixtures, you can always just go over to Fixtures, right-click, Define Fixture. Very similar. You can do the same with geometries. You can right-click and just add whatever geometry you're looking for. So I just basically pre-selected those for this video. But as you go along, let's say we go to our MAC 2, instead of just selecting them from a pre-existing menu, instead of clicking none, I can click on the three dots and select the solids on screen. And this also has been covered in a previous training video. But in this case, let me just select my fixture 2. And then finally for my fixture 3, there we go. I will do a synchronize and calculate just to bring all those up to date. So each of those stock recognition, fixture collision protection based toolpaths will now be calculating based off of their current setup. We take a look at that in our simulation. Now we can fully simulate what this is going to look like on the machine. So my side 1 operations are acting on side 1. I'm about to do my side 2. My fixture pops up for my side 2. Now I can take a look at my side 2 operations. I'm about to do side 3. You can see now that we have my side 3 operations about to engage my part sitting in my side 3 fixturing. If I were to do this with a single Mac, with a single setup of my fixtures, by the time I go to do my side 3, I would be colliding with my fixtures because they would not be oriented the correct way. So the machine setup allows you to choose the Mac you'd like to work under and also what fixturing you'd like to do under that Mac. Any questions of this or anything else from SolidCAM, just give us a call at 1-866-975-1115, extension 2. You can send us your parts or your questions via the ticket system at solidcamsupport.com. And stay tuned for the rest of the videos on this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.